Hello, I have no idea if this is live. This is completely spontaneous. I was literally sitting on the couch 5 minutes ago and I was like, I might do a live. Don't know if that's a good idea or not, but hey, we are here. Or at least I am. I'll leave the replay up, probably. So for anybody watching this back, hello. Hope you're well. It's nighttime here, clearly. It's after 9, so it's chill out time, really. I got a haircut today. I quite like it. Hello, how are you? Is it Iona? Is that how I say that? Or is it an L? I can't quite tell if it's an L or an I. I'm sorry. Hello, Argentina. Hello, Sabrina. How are you? Also, Blair doesn't know I didn't mention, like, he's playing games. I didn't mention to him before I went live, so if he walks in, he'll get a bit of a shock. That could be quite funny. I know I haven't uploaded on my main channel in a couple of weeks, which I did sort of. It's an I. Okay, lovely. Thank you. I haven't uploaded for a couple of weeks, which I did sort of like hint at in my favorites video that I might not. And yeah, I don't think I will be anytime soon, to be honest. Hello, Tammy. 6 a.m. getting ready for work. Hello, Frankie. Since I uploaded my favorites video, I have been in hospital. Obviously, I'm home now, so I'm doing okay, but it's been a bit of a rough ride. I'm hoping, I think I'm definitely heading in the right direction now, which is nice. But yeah, COVID, it got into my lungs, and as someone with asthma, that doesn't usually end well. But yeah, I'm home and I'm doing okay. I'm still off work for a little while longer. And like I'm fine sitting here, but I don't have any stamina whatsoever. Like just walking around, even just around my house, my 2-bedroom apartment, is quite taxing at the moment. So yeah, it's been a time. It was a little bit scary when my doctor was like, yeah, you need to just go to hospital. I was like, what? This escalated. But it was good to be able to go and get checked to make sure that there was nothing more serious wrong. I have COVID right now. I hope you have a much quicker recovery than I did, Frankie. Just on my lunch break here in Germany. Lovely. I hope you're having a good day. So yeah, I am uploading on my second channel just because, I don't know, it's keeping me occupied and I'm enjoying that. But the idea of putting together like big tarot videos and like a tarot in practice or something is just not where I'm at. But if you do want to see my face and you're wondering where I am, feel free to check that channel out. I think a video actually just went up, to be honest. I'm not great at this YouTube thing sometimes. But anyway, so if you want to keep up, definitely feel free to head over there if you like. I talk about books, so if you're not into books, maybe not. But just FYI, I don't know that I'll be on this channel a huge amount anytime soon. But I have also just been struggling reading a little bit, and I felt like maybe I could use a little bit of accountability. And I know during some of the lockdowns we did read with me's, and so we could do a bit of that today. I have a few books that I was thinking of potentially reading, but I'd also be happy to just chat for a little while if anybody has any questions or anything. And apologies if I'm a bit like a cough or whatever. Just how it is at the moment. But do you like my hair? Look how short it is now. I haven't had super short hair in a little while. But I've got this new hairdresser. It's my second time going to him, who's a friend of a friend. And he's been cutting it to bring out my natural wave, which is why I've had curly wavy hair for the last 6 months or so, usually in videos. That's my natural hair now. It just does this now. I always knew I had wavy hair, but I didn't know you could make it wavier with a cut, I mean, I think I knew that, but I never knew what to ask for or whatever. Anyway, I'm into it and I like it. Is the moral of the story. Hello, good morning. Love a curl-respecting hairdresser, yes. 3 books into Boys Run the Riot. Are you liking it, Tammy? I just uploaded a review of that series. That's what's just gone up on my second channel. Literally 20 minutes ago is a review of Boys Run the Riot. For anybody not in the know, it's a 4-volume series about a trans boy who makes friends with another guy at high school, and they both just really love fashion and expressing themselves through fashion, so they decide to start a fashion brand together. And it's fucking adorable. It's also just really it's by a trans mangaka as well, so it's just some great rep and some great conversations, and it's amazing. I'm so glad you like it. Well, that you're reading it. I'm assuming you don't hate it, seeing as you're up to volume 3. Hello, Melanie. Oh, that was a bit of a funny. How is everybody? I've been watching plenty of Eurovision. That's pretty much all I've been doing. My God, the book sounds great. If you're still looking for questions, what are some ways? Okay, I will answer that. I just want to show. This is Boys Run the Riot. This is volume 1, just FYI. And this is the whole series, so it's not like a big commitment or anything. It's great. It's great. I requested that we get it in at work so I can sell it. So I'm very excited about it. So what are some of the ways the last 2 years have changed? Tali, I don't know. Hey. I almost struggle to think back before the pandemic. It feels like a different era, doesn't it? It just feels like a different time and place, an alternate timeline. It doesn't feel. I don't feel connected to it. I don't know if that makes any sense. I think I got even more into reading than I was before. So I read even more. I don't know. I mean, Blair and I bought this apartment last year, so that was a big thing. I know that's not COVID specific, but that's been a big change for us in the last 2 years, which is pretty cool. And I think, I also turned 30, so I think I don't know. I feel like the last few years I've had a lot of progress with my mental health and stability and everything. Don't know if that makes sense. Reading too many big books gives you. I don't think I want you here. Sorry, friends, for anyone who had to read that. I think I got the same COVID as you. I got COVID at a wedding. The wedding that we went to just in April, my cousin's wedding. A family member, an extended family member, is an anti-vaxxer and showed up positive, still with symptoms. So fuck them. But yeah, it just sucks. It's a lot of. I heard a lot of people got it over Easter, which I suppose actually the wedding was over Easter weekend. I'm just remembering that it was the Thursday, so it was just before. Any new tarot oracle decks on your wish list? Honestly, no. Okay, I'm just going to block you. Please go away. I don't know how to. There you go. Why do you make this so hard, Google? Sorry, friends. I'm trying to get rid of somebody. I don't really have any new decks on my wish list. I honestly haven't been keeping up with new releases and anything like that. And I don't really feel the desire at the moment, at least, for new tarot or oracle decks. My mum did get me a little oracle deck. It's not really an oracle deck. It's more like a card deck while we were all away. It's a tea oracle deck by Rockpool. It's a bit weird. It's not really an oracle. I thought it was, like, she thought it was and I thought it was. It's not. Just if anyone's seen that deck and was wondering, it's not. So I can't really say I do have any new decks. Does anyone of my lovely friends who's been here for a while can I make any of you a moderator? Can someone volunteer for me? Because this person is fucking me up. If anybody wants to be a moderator, please let me know, because that would be great. My trans child is into books. I will put him onto it. 1:30 is always on the lookout for new books for him. Awesome. Well, I think he'll. I mean, I loved it, and it's a great story. So I think that's a good place to start. Thank you, Melanie. Basically, just if anyone's putting stupid shit that you, like that person asking me to drink wine with them and saying that books give you autism, just get rid of them. No, Judgment Day, go away. Please go away. I've had a rough month and I just want to hang out with my friends, okay? Please just go away. I would really just, I know you're not supposed to like talk to the trolls, but like just please go away. Totally makes sense. I keep saying I don't understand time anymore. Yes, I agree. I think time just feels really weird. Sorry for my spelling. All good. Have you heard of the therapy toolkit? I feel like I might have. I don't know. Like, it seems vaguely familiar, but therapy toolkit. The 60 cards for self-exploration. I don't think I have seen that one. It's not really an oracle, but it's a deck of cards with therapy-based questions. I can try, but I've not done it before. Thank you, Melanie. Do you have any tips, exercises, have fun and find fun with tarot practice, repractice, study after a break? That's a big question, Joel. Many questions. I don't know. I think for me, it's just always good to keep things simple. Is that like the worst piece of advice ever? I mean, I think I'm someone who generally doesn't take tarot too seriously. Like, I love it, and I don't want people to think that I don't care about and respect it. But I think there are some people who just kind of have a particular kind of reverence of tarot that I don't share. So I think I tend to have a bit more of a light practice, I suppose. I don't know if, not in terms of like dark and light and shadow. That I just mean like, I don't know. I'm not explaining that very well. But I think especially if you've just had a break, I think just take it easy. Like, don't try and make yourself do a Celtic cross every day and, you know, an hour of journaling. And I don't know. For me, I've just always found it best to enjoy what tarot can give me without putting pressure on myself or the cards. Like, if I don't do a reading every single week, that doesn't mean that I don't love tarot. And I think also just being okay with doing little exercises and spreads. Like, one of my favorite things is Gratty Tarot. I do that in almost every tarot practice. I've been talking about it for years, and that's just drawing a tarot card and finding something to be grateful for, like helping that card, using that card to help you think of something to be grateful for the day, and like focusing on it in that way. And you can use the meaning of the card, or you can use just the imagery or whatever comes up. Like just take it easy and have fun. Oh, I did I make it? I'm just home from work, about to start casting resin. Ooh, nice. Yes, this was completely spontaneous. I just hopped on like 15 minutes ago. Hello. Do you have the Well-Worn Path and Hidden Path Oracle kits? No, I don't. I get it. Some people build up a bunch of rituals around reading, which is lovely. I'm more laid back. Yeah. Yes, that's very much more me. I sort of experimented and sort of tried to do the more intense ritual sort of stuff for a while. I think partly because I sort of felt like that's what everyone else was doing. So that's sort of what I had to do. Like that was what was modeled to me, right? Plus it just looks fun. But whenever I did that, I just got too in my head and stressed myself out and all of the things. So I just sort of stripped it all back. Hello. Hi, so good to see you live again. Yeah, I just thought I'd pop on, say hi. Have it light-hearted. Thank you for the answer. You're welcome. I hope you got something out. I've never been the best at like tarot advice because I'm always like, I don't know, just do whatever you want. just chill out, just have fun. It's all good. But yeah. I have these really pretty, I just want to show you something. Look at these pretty flowers. I have some very pretty flowers. My boss and my team at work sent these to me yesterday. Aren't they pretty? I thought that was very nice. And my friend sent me an embroidered hanky. Because those of you who've been around for a while will know I'm a hanky user and have been since I was in high school. And she sent me this, which was, and another friend sent me a box of like artisan chocolates. So yeah, it's been very, I mean, like the hospital part was not nice, but all like the little knickknacks from my friends have been very nice. We can really mess ourselves up when we worry too much about how things look. Yeah, totally. And I think I've spoken quite a lot about my perfectionism and how like that's honestly been a really big problem for me. It's definitely not as much these days, but it's something I still have to like consciously work through. But it was huge for me 10 years ago. Like I was in therapy for bipolar and all of the things, but like a big part of what I was doing was working through my perfectionism. Like it was that impactful. And so I think, I don't know, I can just sort of, I can recognize that sort of inclination a lot of the time in especially newer people or people getting back into tarot, where they sort of feel like they have to meet this particular standard of like tarot is a part of their everyday, and they do these certain kinds of spreads and they read this certain kind of way. And that just sounds really, I mean, for some people that sounds invigorating. For me, it sounds exhausting. So yeah, I don't know. I know everybody will fall on a different sort of spot along that spectrum, but I think there's a lot of, and I don't say this as a criticism, but there's a lot of there's like an aesthetic that sort of goes alongside some of the really ritualistic elements of tarot for some people, especially people who are producing content online. And it's all amazing and it's really beautiful to watch and to see. But I think sometimes we can think that that isn't something to be inspired by or to look at and enjoy. Hi. Sure. I'm doing a live stream for no particular reason. Okay. Do you want to make me a cup of tea, baby? I'm busy. Oh, sorry. Maybe later? Maybe. Okay, thank you. Love you. I told you he'd come in and wouldn't know. He heard me talking to someone, so he came in steady. Well, I don't remember what I was saying. Point is, take it easy. I have accidentally come across your channel looking up info on tarot decks I collect. I bought ones going on your reviews. It's been very helpful. Oh, I'm glad, Linda. That's good. I haven't done a proper tarot review in a little while, but it's okay. I don't remember what I was saying. Excuse me. I don't know what he's doing. I think. Sorry, just let me check something. Just need to check something. Yeah, okay. I'm all good. I'm all good. So yeah, that's what's going on with me. And I don't know. Did folks just want to hang out and chat, or do you want to do a read with me? Because I'm probably not going to hang out for too long because I do get. I'm still struggling with the fatigue, and everything. But I don't know. I just want to say hi. I just want to say hi to my internet friends. I don't think you have any recent videos on your journaling practice. Do you mind telling us where you're at with journals? Yeah. So, I mean, I have my old weeks here. I was so sad. This was my 2021 weeks, and it's all like the astrological. Isn't it cool? But obviously, I was optimistic buying a journal, like a day, like a calendar daily thing for 2021. It's empty. But my 2022 one is in my bag, and I do use that. That's just got like appointments and notes and whatever. So it's like this same size. It just fits in my bag, just stays there. And then I've had this cover for so long for my Hobonichi, but this is the new one. And I don't think there's anything on here I can't show you. But I just for days, I just sort of write like my daily to do. Oh, was I supposed to show? Oh no, that's okay. I just know a phone number, but it's just the Royal Melbourne Immunology Department phone number, so that's okay. You can call them if you want. Yeah, I've got like notes for videos and stuff. So this is just sort of like my jot it down when I just need to like get stuff out of my head onto the page. And then I have just this journal that I've had for ages. I honestly haven't done a lot in it in a little while, but this is where I will journal readings or exercises from the Tarot for Transformation book. I had a blank then. Oh, look at that! Like the white. Oh, I'm getting a bit of a lighting. No. So yeah, those are that's it now. Got 3, but they're not all journals. This is the journal. Yeah, there you go. A little insight. Hope you enjoyed. I think I haven't done videos on journals or journaling, but a few of my tarot and practice videos do have segments where I'm journaling with tarot, or I'm doing an exercise and I'm journaling. So, and then I use, when I do that, then I will sort of honestly read bits out of my journal when I'm doing like a little voiceover for you guys. Obviously I'll leave out things that are a little bit personal or whatever, but yeah, those voiceovers are mostly journal entries, just edited for the internet a little. Thanks for the question. I've bought 3 decks from watching Katey's videos. Oh, the Spiral, the Gill, and I can't remember the name of the third. Oh, I hope you liked them. Thanks for being here even though you're tired. Thanks for being here with me. Go away. Go away. Why are we getting trolls, friends? Have I not had a hard enough month? Just let me be live with my friends, please. Okay. Imagine being so bored that you go into random live streams to be a troll. You just can't. Life's too short, man. I've got shit to do. The Guild Tarot will be a forever deck for me. I love hearing it, Melanie. Me too. I feel like when I made that video about, like, I was wrong about soul decks, obviously that title was a little clickbaity because clickbaity might be the wrong. It lent into a particular conversation. I don't know. You know what I mean? I knew what I was doing when I had that thumbnail and that title. Because, like, I still feel like the Guild Tarot is my soul deck. I was more commenting on how much emphasis I noticed that some people placed on that. I think I described it as a treasure hunt, didn't I? But since then, people have been like, so you don't like the Guild Tarot anymore? I'm like, no. I love it, just because I don't use it every day, and I wanted to have a thoughtful conversation around soul decks. But I'm very glad to hear that you love it too. It always melts my heart a little bit when other people, because I feel like, I don't know, it just feels so special to me that I love it when other people love it. Good morning from Portugal. Hello. Sorry for being distracted, but I love your background of books and tarot decks. Any opinion for me, who has been absent from tarot reading for a couple of years? I mean, I think just what I said to the person who said they were getting back into tarot earlier. Were you here for that? So just take it easy on yourself and have fun. Don't put too much pressure on the tarot or yourself. Journaling is another area where I can get stuck on the aesthetic of it. I tried the pretty journal, bought all the markers, but it just got me way too stuck in my head. I totally agree, which is why my journal is literally just this. That is my journal. Because, yeah, I get too in my head about it. Thanks. I love the quiet. Oh, where'd it go? It jumped. I love the quiet atmosphere when you're writing in the tarot practice. Oh, thank you. I'm here in Queensland and I buy a lot of decks from Tarotopia in Brisbane. I asked the owner to order in some decks for her business based on your videos. Oh, thanks, Linda. Also, I didn't know the website Tarotopia. I didn't know that they were based in Brisbane. I'm learning things. Wow. I don't know why I didn't know that. Well, that's really cool. Thanks. And awesome giving your business to small businesses like that. I think that's really cool. I have horrible handwriting, so there was no hope for a pretty journal for me. I have small handwriting, and so I feel like on a page with lots of words, it kind of looks neater than it actually is. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I think it's just like there's a lot of words, so it looks like, you know, I've achieved something. Good morning from Wisconsin. Making school lunches. Lovely. Well, I hope you have a good day. Hello from Oslo, Norway. Oh, give that wolf a banana before it eats your grandma. Oh, I did that the wrong way around. Before the wolf eats my grandma, give that wolf a banana, give that wolf. Sorry. Good luck. It's Constitution Day. Oh, next week, is it? Cool. Morning from New York. Hello. How are you, Scarlet Moon Creations? I was just reading a book about New York, and I thought I would love it, and it's kind of put me in a reading slump. Don't mean to put that burden on you whatsoever. I made it sound like, you know, when someone has a dream and they tell you that you were mean to them in their dream and you're like, sorry. It's not your fault that I read a book that put me in a reading slump. Sorry. I didn't mean to connect you to that. I collect decks. I have a few hundred. Wow. I mentioned your channel too. Where'd you mention my channel? Thanks. Yes, it was. It was the city we became. I really wanted to love it. I got 140 pages in and had to DNF. My channel has been reported for terrorism. Please end it all. Wow. Please go away. This is exhausting. Sorry, that was a comment that came up for me. It was flagged, so I don't know if everybody else saw it. Probably not. But yes, it was the city we became, and I'm sad about it. And I feel like I'm not the reader I thought I was, because I thought I would love it, but I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. I just wasn't in it. It felt like it was more about ideas than it was a story. And I'm in the mood for a story. I'm a neighbor from Sweden. Hold me close. I'm not a singer. Can you tell? I really like the Swedish entry and the Norwegian entry. I love the Ukrainian entry. I've loved it for months. I love the Serbian entry. I like the UK entry. Who else do I like? I like Greece. Let me check my Eurovision scoreboard. This is my Eurovision scoreboard as of after semi-final 2. I've got Ukraine, Serbia, Sweden, France, Czech Republic, Norway, UK, Romania, Greece, Estonia, and Poland is my number 11, but I really like Poland. But it can move around based on the performance of the grand final, right? But anyway, there you go. Just a little for my Eurovision fan friends, my Euro fans. Hi, everyone. Scotland here. Hello. Would you be interested in commenting on new releases? Maybe. They're a lot of work, those videos. But maybe. They are quite fun. I don't think I'll be making any videos on this channel for a little while, to be honest. But maybe if and when I'm ready to make more, that can be one of them. Because I do really like these videos. I think they're quite fun. Sort of like a little tarot game. I don't know. Are there any like really poppin' new releases that I should know about? You know, like is there a deck or two that's sort of blowing up the tarot tube sphere that I should know about? I honestly haven't been watching tarot content. I've just been watching book content because all I care about is books. I've been reading a lot until the last maybe couple of weeks. I've slowed down a little bit, but that's okay. I do need to blow my nose, friends, so give me a second. Oh, it's getting a bit warm in here. It's so cold, and well, it's not cold, but it's quite fresh in Melbourne. Definitely feels like winter's on its way. So I'll take my little slipper socks off. I mean, I am wearing like a winter jumper, aren't I? No, I feel like I should have more to say about tarot at the moment, but I just don't. I like doing my readings when I want to and when I need to. But other than that, I don't feel the need to like consume the tarot content and everything. Like I sometimes enjoy that. I don't really want to at the moment, which is, you know, we all are into different things at different times. Yeah, at the moment it's just been resting and reading and watching total trash on Netflix or BookTube. No in between. But yeah. I don't know. Does anyone else have any questions, or should we read? I don't mind. I just know it'll get pretty quiet if we start reading. So if you want to talk, now's the time to talk. I need to go and vote. I'm going to try and vote tomorrow so I can vote early. Otherwise, I'll have to vote on Monday. Because we are in an election in Australia. Although our elections run for like 6 to 8 weeks, not 2 years. But yeah. I don't know. Is anybody reading anything good? Or doing anything that they would have talked about? Because since I got back from Melbourne, I felt okay for the first little while. And then I just got sick and, well, it got worse. Had to be in hospital, and since then I've just been resting. I haven't really, today I got my hair cut. That's the most I've done in quite a while. Other than that, I've just been annoying Sammy Menzo on Marco Polo and binge watching YouTube and reading and making book videos when I feel up to it for my second channel. Because at least that way I feel like I'm achieving something. Because otherwise I just feel like I'm staying in bed all day, which gets a bit sad. Okay. My chat is frozen on here. I thought you were all not talking to me, and I was getting quite sad. But I just realized you all have been talking to me. Sorry, hang on. Scult says Lamau, LMAO. Does anyone say Lamau, or is it LMAO? I've heard people from here love it and people not from here don't like it. Well, see, I thought because I spent 3 weeks in New York for my 21st birthday and loved it, that I would have an affinity, that I would get it, that I would be one of the girls who get it. So maybe that's why I'm really sad about it. Good morning from Virginia in the US. Love to you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. You've been hanging out over on my second channel, haven't you? Thank you for commenting over there. I know it's a small channel, but it's always really nice to see people pop up like regulars. Thank you. I have the problem that even when I don't like a book, I still make myself finish it. Perfectionism rearing its ugly head again. I need to learn that it's okay not to finish. I definitely used to force myself to finish every book, and I read a lot less because of it. I still push myself more than I think I should. Like, I want to get even better at DNFing. I can DNF a book that how do I say it? Like, I read a book called The Rosie Project, or I started a book called The Rosie Project. And to me, it was offensive right off the bat. Like, the type of humor I found offensive. So I knew I was just going to hate read it if I continued reading it. So I didn't, I DNF'd that literally on chapter 2 or something. Whereas with books like The City We Became, which is actually underneath my computer, lifting it up a bit, it's like I wanted to like that. So I pushed myself more beyond when I already knew that I was not liking it. So yeah, I still have improvement, but I totally I feel you. Good morning from Brazil. Hello from Japan. Oh, everybody's here. The Boo Tarot is on pre-order. That's a hit. Boo. The Boo. What? Let's check this out. My internet's slow. Boo. Boo Tarot. Little Boo Tarot? Is that what you said? No, you just said Boo Tarot. I don't know. There's Little Boo Tarot. Oh, no, I deleted my Instagram account. I don't know that one. I'll have to try and find it later. Evening from Western Australia. Hello, Leah. I have lowered my tarot tube viewing as well. Fair enough. That makes sense. No pressure. I've been watching Schitt's Creek since I've had COVID. I've never watched Schitt's Creek. I watched the first episode and I found the humor so grating. But I've heard it gets so much better. But I just don't watch a lot of TV. The only things I watch is when I rewatch Doctor Who or Merlin or Sex Education. Oh my God, the new Doctor. Oh, sorry, I don't even know if I have Doctor Who fans in here, but fuck me, he's amazing. Or I watch absolute trash like Selling Sunset. Don't ask me to explain my obsession with that show. I don't know. I was wondering, yeah. I'm reading a poker book at the moment. It's heavy in math. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's some big brain energy. Hey, Laura. Hello, Katie and all. Still quite early here. So just a quick hello and listening. Hello, Jennifer. I just was popping in to say hi. Hi, friend. Good evening to you from 7:53. Far out. It's nearly 10 o'clock here at night. Good morning from Texas. So glad you're feeling better now. Yeah, it's been a rocky time. It was good to, I mean, it wasn't good going into hospital. It was quite scary and stressful, but it was good to, because I ended up having a bunch of blood tests and chest x-ray and a CT scan and all of the things. So it was good in the sense that I knew there was nothing seriously wrong. You know, like I wasn't going to die right then and there. I just had to suck it up and stick it out and take a lot of Ventolin. So yeah, but I'm starting to feel like myself again. I wasn't feeling like myself for a little while there. I've been reading Beatrice and Croc Harry by Lawrence Hill. Never heard, is that one book or two books? But I've never heard of it. Boo Tarot. I just Googled Boo Tarot and it just came up with a Facebook page and it doesn't look, but I will look it up later, I promise. Yeah, I didn't like it at first either, but by the end I was obsessed. Is that Schitt's Creek? I feel like you are the Schitt's Creek person. Is that right, Frankie? Sorry, it's hard to keep track of all the conversations. But yes, I have heard it gets better, so I'm glad you enjoy it. Good to hear the new Doctor is amazing. I just found out yesterday there's going to be a new one. Yes, I'm so excited. When his face popped up, because I saw the news before the BBC put out the statement. So you know how Shooty and RTD just put it up on their Instagram, that the love heart in the blue box? I saw that. So it was before it was like really, really official. And I was like, what? And I wasn't willing to let myself get too excited because I love Sex Education and I love Eric. But I thought that they were going to go older. I really did. Or they were going to get the Fugitive Doctor. I thought that they were going to go older. But, you know, as soon as his face popped up, I had that feeling of like, you are perfect. You are perfect. And I was so excited. Because I think Eric, I mean, that's the only thing I've seen Shooty in. But I think it's just, I mean, he's the gay best friend, but he is the show. I don't know. It's just like whenever he's on screen, he's the person you're paying attention to because he's just such a warm, charismatic presence on screen. And if the Doctor needs anything, it's presence. So I'm thrilled. And I think he's going to be, I think like many Whovians, I haven't loved the Chibnall Jodie era as much as I wanted to. I think they did some great historicals, but it hasn't, and I loved the companions, but I want a bit more fun. I've been missing a bit of fun in Doctor Who lately. And I think Shooty and RTD are going to bring that back, and I'm very excited about it. Anyway, there we go. There's my Doctor Who rant. I'm very happy, and I think Shooty's going to be amazing. I just started selling Sunset latest series. I refuse to watch the OC one because I know I'll get sucked in. Like, I hate myself for liking it, and like I hate it, but I like whenever a new season's out, I just binge watch it. That's all I can do. It's so toxic. I don't know. Everybody has a toxic trait, and mine is that I like selling Sunset. Okay. The Boo Tarot. It's a cute ghost deck from the creator of the tarot, Renard. Don't know that either. I love that you do BookTube as well. I love BookTube. I found you through tarot, but was very excited to figure out you had a second channel for books. Thanks, Maria. It is good fun. Honestly, that's definitely where I'm having the most fun and fulfillment at the moment. I know it's just a small sort of space, but honestly, books are all I want to. I'm a bookseller, and all I do is read. That's not true, but it's just genuinely, I don't know. You know, like when I meet up with friends and I'm like, ask them how they are and get the goss on their lives. And then I'm like, so have you read any good books lately? Like, talking about books is what I want to do. So it just makes, like, making videos for that channel is just very, it's not only what I want to do, but it's like, I need to talk to someone about what I'm reading. And Blair humors me. God bless him, does he humor me? But he is not a reader. And, you know, I mean, I made a 36-minute video about reading The Final Empire. So I just need a place to get it all out. And my second channel is that for me. So it's not only something that I love to do, it's almost like a compulsion. Boo Tarot is French, yes. Her other decks have been, I'm not sure. We were talking about, well, someone asked if there were any new tarot decks that I had on my wish list, and I haven't been keeping up with new releases. And so I asked if there were any that I should know about in the Boo Tarot. And then I Googled it and I couldn't find it because I'm incompetent and live streaming. I also just want to talk about books. Is my tarot tube channel secretly half a sci-fi fantasy channel? Facts. Oh my god. Honestly, I don't know. I still feel weird sometimes about having two different channels. Maybe I shouldn't just riff on this on live, but here we go. I do sometimes feel a bit weird about having two different channels, and I wish there was a way for just to have it all on one. But I mean, I tried that and it really messed with everything. It just got weird on the back end, and people found it weird, and so yeah. I don't know. I wish there was a way that you could have like your channel, and then if you talk about certain topics a lot, like tarot, books, whatever, people could subscribe to certain like playlists or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm overthinking it. It's not going to happen. I have two channels now. It's done. But yeah. I'm really happy that you're a tarot book channel. Congratulations. I think, okay, we're still talking about the Boo Tarot. I need to find out about this Boo Tarot. My friend called me to talk about some childhood trauma, and I recommended her 3 books. So I'm not laughing about your friend's childhood trauma, but just the way that hits me in terms of the relatability. And honestly, like, books are just so good. And I think, like, I don't know, especially being a children's bookseller now, like when I worked primarily with adult books, and I need to find a better way of distinguish between children's books and adult books, because when you say adult books, people think you mean adult books, like, you know, like R18 sexy stuff, which, like, nothing wrong with that, but I was selling books about yoga and tarot, you know, like, um, but yeah, it's interesting working in children's books because parents especially come in and they want their hand held with finding books, and they want such specific books for their kid, um, which is a fun challenge sometimes. Like, I love it. But other times it can be like it's really weird. It's almost like sometimes parents want a book about their child, for their like written for their child, about their child. Um, and some of the most frustrating things are when you like I had this one lady who was like, "So my son only likes books written in third person, in past tense, that are like," and she gave me all these things. And I handed her 3 books that I was like, "These are great books and they meet all of your ridiculous requirements." But all of them had female protagonists. And she was just like, my child is this, it's my son for my son." I was like, "And?" She's like, "I don't think he'll really relate to these, will he?" Like, sis, you were not helping. um, and I sort of like, books aren't gendered. Like, any child can read any book, and I think the content and the style is exactly what he'll like. So I think he'll love them. And she was just not having it. I was like, ah. So yeah, it's weird. How did I get on that? I'm not really sure. I think I was thinking about how like the specificity of like recommendations and stuff, because people come in like, if their kid's being bullied or a family member's died, and they want that one book that's perfect for their kid to help get them through. And sometimes we absolutely have that book, but sometimes, there's a few books that come pretty close, but I don't know. It's weird, man. It's weird. It's fun. Sorry, that was tangent and a half. I totally understand the need to talk about books so much you make videos. I just couldn't be bothered to make a second channel. Fair, fair. I mean, I tried putting it on this channel. Honestly, if we're talking about the YouTube back end and the only way for me to make it work was to private my most viewed videos, which are like specifically tarot videos. So things like my tarot spread for beginners video, my how to read, like those sort of videos, because they still get views and they still get subscribers. So I sort of would have to like cut myself off at the knees so that I could stay on this channel with my book stuff. And I did try that for a little while, but I don't know. It feels kind of shitty in a way as well, because I worked really hard on those videos, and I think it's kind of amazing that I have a video that has like 500,000 views on it. Like, I fucking did that. Like, that's amazing. And to then just be like, I don't know. And honestly, that video still like earns money for me. Like, not anything life-changing, but it's a few hours of work every month that I get from that video. So to like get rid of that, I don't want to. That sucks. That hurts in a different way. So yeah, that's why I decided just to start again, which does feel sort of weird, but at the same time, it's kind of liberating too. Because when you've had a channel for as long as I have, and I know there's people who've had channels longer, but my channel has been like pretty consistently active for 8 years. I've been making content on this channel. So you do sort of like just accumulate subscribers, like people who found you 8, 7, 6 years ago who subscribed, but like don't even know the password to their YouTube account anymore, or don't even care about tarot content anymore, but they never check the subscription page, so they've never thought to unsubscribe. So yeah, that's also why like people who've been around for a long time tend to have, you just sort of accumulate people. But that doesn't mean that everybody's still watching. So it's nice just to have a bit of a fresh start if I'm going to do something a bit different as well. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm overthinking it. It's not that interesting. I find the YouTube stuff very interesting, but most people don't. You just need to be a YouTube network. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, that's what I need. Like, I mean, the potential I have with my 27,000 subscribers. Look out, YouTube. No, that would be cool, Tammy. I wish. I'm a librarian and I love hearing your reviews. Thanks. Oh, thank you. I'm really glad. Katie, have you heard about the Alley Man Tarot? I have not. I have not. I honestly haven't heard anything that's been released in the last definitely year, probably 18 months, 2 years. I haven't heard of it. Like, I just haven't heard of it. So awesome to see you live. Hello from Ontario. Is it Ontario or Ontario? Because I know I sound like I don't understand. I don't know anything, but I've heard different pronunciations, and I feel silly saying it out loud. And good morning. Wait, do people think that? I've told people I only read adult books, and now I'm worried. Maybe not. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I do love, though, when someone walks into our shop and they come in and they clearly are not looking for a kid's book, but they don't realize that they're in a children's bookstore. And so they're like sort of looking around and they just look a bit dazed, you know. And so we'll be like, hi, are you looking for a children's book? And they'll be like, no. And you're like, oh, you're looking for the shop, you know, somewhere else. But we actually did get a phone call from we got a phone call from someone asking for a particular edition of the Kama Sutra. And the person they called didn't know what that was. And so they were sort of looking, and it, like, once they clued on of like, oh. They're like, sir, so can I just confirm? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you've called a children's bookstore. So that's not a book we tend to stock, I'm afraid. Beatrice Crock Harry is a YA by a well-known Canadian author. Oh, cool. So specific. I hate the idea that kids only read about themselves. I know. And it's sort of like, I definitely try to push against it, but I also am working in customer service and retail. And if the parent, you know, like, there's only so much you can do without losing a job. You know what I mean? But yeah. So I always like try to, like, that's why I would be like, well, you know, any gender can read any book, you know, like, I try and be like, and some people are like, hey, yeah, you know, you're right. Whereas other people are like, boys only read about boys. It's like, okay, great. Let's just reinforce a bit of toxic masculinity in the next generation. Why don't we? Awesome. Because reading is as much about having representations for ourselves as it is empathy for others. And I don't know. Anyway. Girl read book about boys. Yes, exactly. Like, it's definitely much more expected that girls are just happy to engage with stories about especially boys. And there's more and more literature available for and about people who aren't binary gender, but so many of the books are, and it's just, yeah, it's like girls are expected to like Percy Jackson, but a book about, even if it's an action hero book, but it's featuring a female protagonist, it's like, that's for girls. Fuck me. Wow, bring the kid into browse. Yes, we definitely, whenever we're sort of struggling with a parent, we're like, oh, well, you know, can you bring your kid in? Because we would love to talk to them and find them something that they will love. Yeah, it's much, I mean, some kids can be tricky, but I don't know. They're tricky in a different way, you know? I definitely prefer selling to a kid. rather than, I mean, some parents are amazing. I don't mean to, oh my God, I feel like one of my customers is going to see this and be like, she's a bitch. No. Yeah. I mean, everybody's, but I just like, there's something really fun about selling to a kid and finding them something they're going to love and that they're excited to read. I just opened the deck the other day. Oh, we're talking about that Alley Man. Not sure if this is useful, but some libraries to read a like list. Yeah, I'll definitely have to look into those more. I worked as a bookseller for many years, not in kids sections. People are just weird. Yes. Gotta head to work. Have a great day. Well, thank you so much for popping in, Blue. Ontario. Is that right? I don't remember which was the first way I said it, but if I read Tare like that, I would say tar. Thank you, and I'm sorry. I'm still waiting for my Alleyman Tarot. Fun question. If you did have your own network, what kind of channels would you have? Probably have a Eurovision channel. Probably have like a Doctor Who channel. It would be all like the fandoms that I exist within, probably. I don't know. I'm someone who loves things. Like, I love being a part of fandoms and groups that are excited about something. And like, I love the things I love, and I love them an awful lot. And yeah, I feel like Doctor Who, Army, and Eurovision are probably like the biggest things that I am right on in. Otherwise, Mum and I did talk about once starting a blog, although maybe a vlog would be better. We called it, what do we call it? Walking Melbourne was our idea. Walking Melbourne? I feel like it was Walking Melbourne. And it was just like a chat one day. It never went anywhere, but we were going to make this blog, and like every weekend or every couple of weekends, go to a new suburb of Melbourne and just like walk around and like try different cafes or bars and bookshops and op shops and just like the things that Mum and I do when we go walking. We usually sort of stick to the inner west of Melbourne because that's where we live. But like, it was to try and get us out of our little bubble a bit more, exploring a bit more, and just the idea of like documenting that. So maybe I'd have Walking Melbourne, Eurovision, which I mean only is really a big thing once a year, September to May, but really, come on, April, May. And Doctor Who, which is honestly, we can go a couple of years without much Whovian content, but so they could be a little bit like episodic. Yeah, so there you go. That's what I would do. That is a fun question. Thank you. There's no Kama Sutra for kids. I don't know, maybe not the edition that this gentleman was looking for. No. Got to go get my kid to school. So nice to catch a bit of a live. Thank you. I hope you have a lovely day, night also. Everyone's talking about this Alleyman Tarot. So Alleyman and Boo Tarot are sort of like the big two decks at the moment. Is that what I'm gathering? I now read so many YA books thanks to YouTube. I now read so many YA books thanks to being a bookseller, like in a children's bookstore. The last one I read, I feel like I read a couple of really good YAs last month. I read Social Q and Catching Telecrow. Catching Telecrow is incredible. For anyone who watched my wrap up on my second channel, we're just talking about my second channel, really, aren't we? Two great YAs, both Australian. Social Q is sort of like rom-com vibes. Hang on, just let me catch my breath. Rom-com vibes. This features an autistic main character written by an autistic author, set in Brisbane, Australia, and our lovely protagonist Zoe writes an article about what it's like being autistic, being a young woman, and trying online dating for the first time. And it goes viral, and a bunch of people are commenting on it, really supportive, really connecting with her story. But she gets 5 comments from people who say they know her and have had a crush on her in the past. So her editor suggests meeting up with these 5 people and chatting with them, going on little dates and finding out what the signs were that she missed. And it's just heckin' adorable. It does also touch on some, like, heavier stuff as well, but I think it does it all with a really sensitive hand, and Zoe is an amazing narrator, and overall, it's a very light, uplifting, happy story about a really, really awesome young woman, and I loved it. Read it. Okay, I need to breathe. Catching Teller Crow by Amberlynn and Ezekiel Quay-Mulliner. They are Indigenous authors. They're brother and sister. They're a little duo. Amberlynn Quay-Mulliner is quite a prolific author, actually. I just got another book by her today at an op shop. She writes a lot of poetry for all ages. Anyway, this is a ghost story and a murder mystery, but tackles also the history of colonization and dispossession and genocide in Australia and the stolen generation. And it's heavy, but it's gorgeous. And it's written partly in, just prose and then partly in verse. And there's some of the most beautiful metaphors explored for trauma and sexual violence, which I know it sounds weird saying beautiful, but I don't know, like it's heart-wrenching, but the way that it's described is, I just like, it's I think it's just so tender and true, and I don't know. I love this book. Love, love, love this book. So it is YA, but I would say it's probably a little, like, this is a lot darker, obviously, than Social Cue, but also really, really important. So there you go. 2 YAs that I've read recently that I would highly recommend. Both Australian. What's the little hashtag? I forget. There's a little Love Oz YA, maybe? Yeah, hashtag Love Oz YA. There we go. Sorry, if for anyone who came in late, my chat froze on here, so I'm watching myself to read your comments. Then they miss out on the lights of Pippi Longstockings. I need to read Pippi Longstockings. I've never read it, but people seem to love it still, so I do want to read it. And I found a copy secondhand at Saders. I read everything as a kid. I was not a big reader as a kid. I'm one of those rare people because most people who are readers as adults were readers as kids. I wanted to be a reader as a kid, but I struggled. I think mostly because I needed to get glasses, but I refused. I've never been a very strong reader. And I think especially, with the education system and how you had to read out loud to someone, I used to find that so upsetting and anxiety provoking. I hated it. And so I associated that stress and that anxiety with reading. So I hated reading. Anyway, so I didn't read much as a kid. I have a few books that I loved, like the Wicked series by Paul Jennings and Morris Kleitzman. I loved that, but I never finished it as a kid. But yeah, so I missed out on a lot of the classics, Pamela. Hello, Pamela. So good to see you, Katie. Looks like you made it home. Sounds like you're still under the weather. Yes. I mentioned maybe you weren't here at the beginning, which is fine. You don't have to just be available whenever I hop online. I've been home for a little while, but I ended up in hospital after I made my favorites video last Thursday. So what's today? Friday. So 8 days ago, I went to hospital. Because my breathing was not. I was not. But I'm steadily getting better. I am mostly fine when I'm just not doing anything, but you can even hear I'm getting breathless just talking. So, going out and doing anything is kind of beyond me at the moment. But other than like I feel myself again, which is nice. It's the breathlessness and the chest stuff. But thank you. Besides Army, what music do you like? So I do like other K-pop other than BTS, but I like BTS is the one that I'm into the most. Aside from BTS, I'm more into girl groups in terms of like casual listening. I love IVE. I love Twice. And then outside of K-pop, I enjoy a big mix. Hey, sort of my favorite stuff is all that like post-punk new wave stuff, like The Cure and Joy Division and New Order and Susie and the Banshees, all that sort of stuff. I also just like pop generally. I'm going to see Harry Styles next year with my 70-year-old friend and her best friend who's 88. I'm so excited. And I also just grew up with a lot of like rock and roll as well. So I like a lot of that stuff. And yeah, I just enjoy music. I grew up in a very musical family. Like my dad was a drummer, my brother's a drummer, guitarist, like he plays everything. And for Australians will get this reference. People outside of Australia won't. On Saturday mornings, instead of watching cartoons, every single Saturday morning that I can remember, my family watched Rage. That is how we spent our Saturday mornings together. We'd all get up nice and early, we'd drink tea and watch the top 50 countdown. Like the Rage is like was the top 50 pop songs in Australia, like whatever was. And that is what we watched every Saturday. So yeah. So I'm pretty good at music trivia. Don't test me. I was just like, I'm not invited. My dad has do you want to know what my dad's superpower is? I mean, other than being an amazing dad and having a broken neck, but still being a boss. You can play him a song. I mean, obviously it has to be a song he knows, but pretty much any sort of pop rock song from the 70s, 80s, even in the 60s. And he can tell you what year it was like who it is, what year it was released, and usually what album it was on. And so that's the game we play a lot. Like if we're on a road trip or something, we'll just like listen to the radio and he's just sitting there being like, David Bowie, this year, like just everything. So yeah, that's that's some information you didn't need to know, but you're welcome. I don't have that superpower, but I am very good at hearing who the artist is. Like even if I haven't heard the song, I will know who it is if I've heard them before. So I'm good at picking the song or the artist, but not the year and the album shit. Parents have got a lot better at not putting their kids in a pigeonhole based on their sex so much better than I was a kid. I think a lot definitely have, but there's still plenty that no. Plenty of work still to do. Did you hear the States had its own type of Eurovision for the first time? Yes, I did. And yes, it was Alexa who won, wasn't it? It's funny because I thought there would be more hype around it. Like I only heard about it, I think, just before the grand final because everyone was talking about Alexa. And I suppose I thought more of the Eurovision sort of fan sites and stuff that I follow would cover it because they covered like the lead up to it being announced that it would happen, you know, like when it was suggested that that might be a thing that they would try to do. So I thought that I would hear about it through those Eurovision fan sites, but they didn't really post about it. So I didn't know it was happening. Those books sound interesting. They are. They were really good. Bye, Jessica. Pippi. I had a magical summer growing up when I discovered Ray Bradbury. I know that name, and I know he wrote one of two different. It's me not knowing anything about it. Fahrenheit 451. I've not read that. Yeah. I was like, he wrote that big American classic, didn't he? Never read it. Sounds like you enjoyed it though. Off to work. Lovely chatting with you. Have a great evening. Thank you, Tammy. Have a good day. Your jumper looks so cozy. I know. This is my big, like, when I ordered it, I thought it was like pastels, but like, as you can see, this is like neon. So I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to like it. But it's become like my favorite at home during winter cozy jumper because it's just so good. I'm probably a little premature pulling this out in May. It's not that cold, but like it's so snuggly. I'm retired respiratory therapist, so I can't help to key into your breathing. I'm sorry if I'm like triggering any flashbacks for you. Yeah, I'm okay. Like I've had all the checks. Like I don't have any major embolism or anything like that. Like they checked all that. I think it just triggered a bunch of the asthma stuff, and I just my lungs need a bit of downtime. They worked pretty hard. Army hard here too. Nice. Musical memory is so cool. It is. Well, my work does a music trivia fundraiser every year, and your dad he would be great. He's really good. And it's fun because whenever we play them at home, his knowledge sort of cuts off around 95, and that's when mine sort of starts. So we make a really good team. And then also because I'm interested in that sort of, 80s era of not like full on alternative music, but like the post punk and the new wave was a little not just straight pop. So I've got that, like, when they throw in a bit of a tricky 80s one, like I've usually got that covered, so we make a really good team. So invite us over to Canada. I can only do the year and album if it was around the time they were released and I actually listened to the whole. Yeah. I'm really good. Oh no, I feel like if I start telling everyone I'm good at something, I'm pretty good at the Eurovision trivia because I'm such a fucking nerd for that. So I'm usually pretty good at. I mean, I suppose it depends on the song. Like if I didn't care about the song, I'd probably forgotten about it. But like Blair was like, I liked the France entry from 2013, and I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, Loin de Sea, and I'm like, that was Austria in 2016, mate. Like, what are you talking about? So like, I'm pretty. I mean, 2016 was a really good. Wait, it was 2016, wasn't it? Now I feel like an idiot. Was it 2015? See, now I'm second guessing myself. Yeah, it was 2016. I'm fine. I'm brilliant. It's fine. I need to not second guess myself. Katie, I could do a BTS trivia. Let's go. Okay, that does sound quite fun. I know how hardcore ARMY is, so I'm not even going to pretend I'm like I know more than like you casual fan for sure, but like I know how deep ARMY gets with all the insider knowledge, and I'm not there on BTS. I love them, but like that rabbit hole goes deep. Fahrenheit, is it 451 or 451? I feel like it's 451. I feel like I've heard that. Anyway, is the temperature at which paper burns. That's right. Yeah. It's like is it like dystopia about censorship or something? I don't know. I know I've heard of the book. I've just never read it. I don't think it has the same sort of like cult status, or maybe cult status isn't even the right word, but the same status in like Australia as it does America. 1953 dystopian novel by American writer Ray Bradbury. Yeah, cool. Haven't read it either. One day. It's gotten a lot colder in the last 2 weeks, so I got my jumpers and blankets out. Nice. Yeah, it has gotten a little bit fresh. I think I noticed it when we got back from Bateman's Bay. In that 10 days we were away, Melbourne sort of took the dive into winter, you know. I mean, to be fair, we were a little bit further north on the beach for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So it wasn't quite as nice when we got back. But I do love Melbourne. And we've just had the best summer ever. Like, ask anyone from Melbourne and they will tell you that it's been the best summer we've ever had. It's just been delightful. It's certainly been the best since we've been here in 2012. It's like we had warm days, but none that were like horribly hot. Like sometimes we don't really have a summer, like it's too rainy and we don't really get like nice warm weather. It's just the best summer. So normally I'm quite excited for when winter starts because like I enjoy changing up my wardrobe, like the novelty of it. But this year I'm just sad because it just was like it was the best summer. I'm not ready to let go. Good night all. Hope you keep getting better, Katie. My COVID cough has stayed well past its welcome. Well, thank you so much for being my mod, Melanie. I really appreciate it, and I hope you're feeling better soon. Have I been on for an hour and 20 minutes? I was like, yeah, I'll pop on for half an hour, you know. I can ramble. Yeah. Oh, where's the clown emoji? Oh. Remember how we were going to do a read with me? Okay, well, can you guys at least help me pick which book to read next? Like I said, The City We Became has put me in a bit of a reading funk. To be fair, it's off the back of The Well of Ascension. Like I've read a few books that just don't vibe with me. So I'm just, you know how it is. So I read The Tales of Mr. Walker, which I would show you, but my computer's resting on it, which was an adorable junior fiction book about Mr. Walker, who is a guide dog ambassador. This is real. He's a guide dog ambassador at a hotel in Melbourne. And so they've written this little book about his adventures. So it's not, the stories aren't real, but he is real. Does that make sense? And it was adorable. So just a bit of a palate cleanse, a bit of a good time, right? So I'm trying to pick things that will help me get through, you know, the edge of a reading slump. So I'm looking for good story that has like a good pace to it and like good, like just help me get my momentum back and my mojo. So I don't want anything that's like hard to read that I'm going to like slog through. You know what I mean? Like you readers know what I mean. You know where I'm at. Like not in a reading slump. I'm trying to avoid one. Honestly, I don't want to pick this one. I just picked this one because I thought it could be fun to read together. It's not a choose your own adventure, but it's kind of along that lines, and it's about tarot. So I kind of want to read this, and I bought it because I was like, I have to buy this when it came in at work, but it hasn't had great reviews. So I don't know if it's actually any good, but it's a cool concept. Let's put that one aside. We're not voting on that one. So my options. Yutsuba and, I don't know if that's how you say it. We'll just call it Yutsuba. This is a manga that I haven't read. Apparently it's just adorable. It's about a 5-year-old who just sees like magic and joy in the world. Adorable. And manga's quick and easy. Then I've got The Poet X. I picked this because I've been meaning to read it for a while. I read Clap When You Land by this author. And I feel, have I read another one? I feel like I've read another one, but maybe I haven't. Anyway, I really liked what I have read from this author. So that's a good sign. Plus it's written in verse. So that'll like, you know, quick to read. And just like, I think I could like this one quite a lot. So that's an option. Or I've had Terry Pratchett recommended to me so much lately. And I do have the We Free Men, which is the first book in the Tiffany Aching, is that right? Sort of thread of Discworld. I don't know if that's how you sequence of Discworld. This is we put it in middle grade. I don't know if it's technically middle grade, but you know. So don't actually really know, like I know it's fantasy, but I don't know a whole lot about it, and I've never read Terry Pratchett before. But those are my options. What do we think? Please place your votes. Can I do a vote? I can do a poll. Oh, okay. I don't know if there's enough of you here to do a thing. I shouldn't do a poll, should I? Yeah, let's do a poll. Give me a sec. Super. Yeah, that. If I spell something wrong, don't hate me, okay? Or okay. Did it work? It might not work because it's frozen. Well, it says it, but it hasn't come up on here. It's loading. Oh no, I can see the votes rolling in. They're rolling in. Okay. Okay, good. I just need to blow my nose, so give me a second. This is fun. Isn't this fun? Okay, I'm just going to talk for a little longer while I let the, how exciting. You better not lead me astray. Like I said, I'm tipping into a reading slump. So if this doesn't work, I can blame all of you. Because I love not having responsibility for my choices. Honestly, if I could hold a poll for almost every decision I make every day, I would. Honestly, that sounds like some dystopia shit, doesn't it? Imagine waking up and like having to wait for a poll to come through to tell you what you're allowed to have for breakfast or something, and like what you eat, what you wear, and why does this sound like a dream? That's some toxic Libra shit happening right there, isn't it? Okay. Well, we've got 13 votes. I'll give it like another minute, and then I'm going to call it because, like, I think that's, yeah. The tension. Oh, I'm knackered. Getting my hair cut and doing a live chat. That's the most I've done in literally 3 weeks. Bloody COVID, man. Social media dystopia. Yeah, totally. You're really keen for the Poet-X. I am keen. I mean, I want to read all of these. Like, I will get to them all at some point. So, like, don't stress out. But I mean, the Poet-X is doing quite well. I suppose for anyone watching back or anyone who wasn't here at the beginning, while we're waiting for those votes to roll in, just a little like friendly reminder that I don't know if / when I'll be back to making content, certainly regular content on this channel. It's just not where my energy or my heart is right now. That's not to say I'm quitting tarot, like I've fallen out of love with tarot. I just don't feel inspired to make the content right now, and I don't want to be one of those people who just puts stuff out for the sake of it, I don't think you want that from me either. Oh, wow. We're getting suicide troll messages. Literally, please go away. I can't right now. Sorry. I think most of you here will know why I would find that a little triggering. What was I saying? Something about how my heart is in this space right now. Wow. Sorry, that really took me out. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, yeah. If I'm not here a lot, that's why. Please don't freak out thinking anything's wrong. if you, I mean, I know a hell of a lot of you will be here because you're interested in the tarot stuff. But if you happen to like books and you happen to like me and you want to hang out, I am uploading on my second channel. The link will be in the description box below. I'll add it. My channel is Katey One More Time. And I talk about books and I do reading vlogs and I talk about manga and whatever. And I'm just really happy making content over there at the moment. It's just a small community. So if you do come over, I would love it if you could say hi. And let me know that you're watching. That would make me very happy. If you're not into books, don't feel like obligated to, obviously. If you hate reading, I promise I won't take it personally. But if you do like reading and you want to hear me talk about books, I'm over there and I've been uploading pretty consistently. So that's where you can find me if you would like to. Just FYI. Just FYI. Terry Pratchett is an excellent author. He wrote Good Omens as well as the Discworld. I am aware, and I know he's well beloved. I just haven't read anything. And actually, my boss, who is lovely, and for anyone who missed it, she and my team sent me these yesterday. And that's so nice. I cried. My boss, my manager at my shop, her favorite author is Terry Pratchett. She adores him. She's an incredible children's bookseller, honestly. Not only is she just like a great manager, she's so passionate about children's books, but she personally adores Terry Pratchett. And so I asked her what book I should start with, and she gave me a few options, but I have another friend who loves Terry Pratchett as well, and she said this one. So that's why I have it on my shelf. So I am excited to try him because I think it could be fun. Good night, Frankie. Thanks so much for popping in. I didn't know he wrote middle grade. I don't know if the whole of Discworld is considered middle grade, but we stock it in middle grade. So it's, at least Danny thinks it's appropriate for middle grade. And like this, yeah, I mean, it looks middle grade. Like if you look at this, like that's a very middle grade-y sort of cover. So sweet. Yes, I know. I'm so glad you're checking in with us. I do wonder about your well-being. Well, thank you, Pamela. And I do know that given that I've been so open about my history that some people do like get concerned when I just like ghost. So I am aware of that and I try not to do that. But I just sort of, I don't know how active I'm going to be on this channel in the near future. So if you haven't heard from me in a little while and you're worried, check my second channel because I'm probably there. And if I'm not, then I will do my best to post somewhere just so nobody freaks out. Who are your favorite booktubers currently? You mean aside from you? I feel like, I mean, Lena Norms doesn't really count as just a booktuber, but I just really enjoy Lena's content. I know she just uploaded a new video. Books and Bow. Love Books and Bow. I'm trying to think. I'm so bad at remembering like things off the top of my head. Oh, I'm logged into my tarot channel. Hang on. Let me switch over to my BookTube channel and I'll give you a few. Gina Lucia. I really like Gina. I found Gina because she was reading Mistborn series a little bit before I was, and I was starting to look up reviews to see if anybody felt the way I did about the Well of Ascension, and she did. So obviously I really like Gina now. I really like Literature Science Alliance. Jordaline Reads. If I feel like I need someone talking about books to tell me that I'm beautiful, I'll watch Jordaline Reads. I just found A Day of Small Things recently. I like Mina Reads. Everybody likes Mina reads. Booked and Busy. I do like Jack Edwards. I was watching him back when he was doing like uni content. I watched a few of his videos. So to sort of see him transition to booktuber king is kind of fun. And he's a YouTuber, you know, so he does make really cool, polished content. This Story Ain't Over. Jenny's lovely. Who else do I like? I mean, I like everybody. Stella from 30 Books. I've mentioned her in my favorites before. She's an Australian booktuber, and she's just really fucking funny, man. I really like her. I like Beckel Books as well. She's Australian. She talks mostly about fantasy, but I don't know, it's just nice having some Australian people to listen to as well. I like Little Wolf. She's a big BTS army for anyone. Pages of Haley is fucking funny and also just really interesting to watch. Are we done? Am I done? Just like keep going. I don't know. There's so many people that I like. Yeah, I think that's enough. I keep scrolling thinking I'm going to find more people, but yeah, there you go. Those are some. Oh, I have to sign back into my tarot channel to come back to the live stream to be able to see your comments. You can be done. Thank you. I've heard it said that as long as it has no sex, it's YA. I mean, YA has sex. I mean, Sarah J. Maas is in the YA section. I don't know if that's technically appropriate, but yeah, sorry, I sort of went on a big list there, didn't I? Yeah, I mean, YA does definitely have sex. Middle grade does not. Middle grade can tackle some really heavy stuff, but it won't just like have sex in it usually. But YA can. Not all of it does, but some of it certainly does. And I mean, YA is such a weird term. It just keeps stretching and stretching, doesn't it? I mean, once upon a time, Harry Potter was YA. What have I just done? Yeah, Jack's definitely got YouTube down. Yeah. I love tarot and books, so I'm good. Nice. Lots of new names for me, and plenty of adult books don't have sex. Yes, totally. Like, sex is not a requirement for a book. And if it doesn't have sex, it doesn't mean it's for children. But yeah, no, plenty of YA does have sex in it. Most books that are specifically written for and targeted at YA might not have like explicit sex. Some of them still are pretty suggestive though, and some of them just outright go there. So I don't know, like that line between like new adult and young adult is very much blurred. And honestly, we do stock some adult books in the YA section. You know, like if kids are coming in looking for TikTok books, a lot of them are not young adult technically. YA is hard to define. Often it's said to be about character age, but I think I can think of quite a few authors, example Octavia Butler, who have books with young protagonists that are definitely adult books for sure. I've read heaps of books that are about young people that are definitely not YA. Honestly, to me, it has a lot more to do with, I don't know, like there's a tone and a writing style, I think, with YA a lot of the time, not always. Again, it's a bit hard to define if you're saying that, but I think like true YA, I think it does tend to be a little bit more explicit and clear with the reader. I think that's just, you know, as people are developing as readers. I think there's a bit more of a Yeah, that sort of a tone where it's just a bit more direct. And then, I mean, there are certainly themes that are very typical of YA, like the coming of age thing. But, you know, every coming of age novel is not a YA novel. And every YA is not a coming of age. But I don't know. It's honestly just, for a lot of books, it just feels like it was more a marketing decision than an intentional decision on the author's part. But then there are some books that definitely feel like I want to write a book for a 16-year-old, you know? I think it's weird when, you know, YA was once to 18, maybe 20, but now it's vaguely like, I don't know. People in their early 20s are still very much reading YA and expecting to find books that they will relate to in that category. And so what is available in that category then sort of skews along with them. And it is sort of interesting. You see it quite a lot on BookTube and stuff where I think people sort of get to like, I mean, it's not just an age thing, but you see it regularly enough where people sort of get to like 24, 25, 26, 27, and they're like, I just don't know if I love reading anymore. You know, like I'm reading all these books that everybody's talking about, but I'm not relating to them in the way I used to. I'm not loving them the way I used to. And it's like, have you thought of trying something other than YA? YA is great, but there are other options for you. Do you think you will write a book or a series? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't have like I don't. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't have that drive. I think it's easier to tell in certain genres. Yeah, for sure. But then, like, alternatively, like fucking. Sorry, I still have them out. Oh, this shit. This is YA, but it's not marketed YA. This is YA. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm holding up the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. Don't waste your time. Totally objective opinion there. It reads so YA to me. The characters, the structure, like everything about it. And I heard someone say, I think it might have been on Haley's channel. It was like an unpopular opinion. Someone said if the Mistborn series had been written by a woman, it would have been marketed YA. And I'm like, T though. T. Anyway, I've spoken about that series so fucking much in the last month. Lacking contemporary in fantasy or sci-fi. I think it's harder to tell whether they are YA or not. They often have younger protagonists. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. I think so too. Some adult releases in fantasy I've read lately feel quite YA in tone to me, but they're not marketed that way. Yeah. Honestly, I think I don't know. It's weird because YA isn't a genre. It's just it's a category, a demographic. But yeah. But I mean, I suppose the same thing sort of happens in middle grade and YA. It just doesn't feel like as much of a problem. Or not a problem, but like a challenge. Like I read When Rain Turns to Snow by Jane Godwin, and some of her books are marketed YA, and some of them are marketed middle grade. And When Rain Turns to Snow is marketed middle grade. Like you look at that cover, and it's not just like that we decided to put it in the middle grade because we weren't sure and we decided on middle grade. Like the cover is middle grade cover material. Like the publisher decided to market it middle grade as well. I read that book and I'm like, this is not middle grade. Like, yeah, it was, you know, kids trying to take care of a baby that they don't know how to take care of, and it's becoming malnourished and shit happens and they're lying to their parents, and there's like mention of like suicidality with a character, and then there's like nudes leaked of a mind. Like you're putting this in a category where an 8-year-old is going to pick this up. Like, what? It was so not. But at the same time, it felt too young for like a 17, 18-year-old, 20-year-old. Like, so and because YA is skewing so much older, like it is weird to sit that alongside a Sarah J. Maas book. Yeah. So I don't know. YA's become so big that it's almost pushing more things into middle grade. If that makes sense. Like that sort of like, 13 to 15 age range is almost feeling like it doesn't belong in YA anymore. It's weird. Anyway, just talking about my profession online. Have you read Brian? I don't remember the series. Animal on a Quest. No, I've not heard of that one, Shannon. Mistborn was out before YA was a big thing. Was it? I thought that was around the time when YA got big. But I don't know. Currently watching this in Scotland while working from home with the fireplace sounds playing in the background and the rain outside. Your jumper and the book chat definitely fits the lovely, Megan. Lovely. I love that for you. The Redwall series. No. Oh, I've seen those covers. Oh, with the rat. I remember someone telling me about that actually now. I haven't read it, but I've seen it. We have it at work, and someone was telling me about it. Makes sense when all these books were just called children's books when I was growing up. Yeah. I think it was Harry Potter and then Twilight really cemented the YA thing and what YA was. Sort of those things happening back to back, those phenomena. Sarah J. Maas and Pippi Longstockings would be. Oh my god. I love. Why is that just the funniest thing I've read? I love that you said. Oh fuck. I mean, some Ursula Le Guin were children's books. Yeah. That's the Wizard of Earthsea thing, yeah? I'm not making that. Yeah. It's like, you're pretty sure on something, but like, we stock those at work. I need to read the rest of that series. I think I didn't dislike the first book, but it was not at all what I was expecting. And I know, Ursula said in the foreword, and I've heard other people say, it's like, it develops into what I think it is later. But yeah, I don't know. I do want to read it, and I have really nice editions. I don't know if you can see. No, you can't really. Like these books up here. I have like these cloth-bound hardbacks because we had them at the TS before I left, and I thought they were pretty. They are really pretty. I've just only read one of them. Anyway. I have so many books I need to read. I love books. But I also acquire too many. That's probably been... having the last month of work has been good for my book acquisition rate. My favorite booktuber tried to do a read along of the Earthsea, but they all gave up a few books. Oh! Yeah. It definitely did feel dated, like it felt of its time. Not in terms of like some of the representation and stuff. That was so far ahead of its time. But just in terms of like the narrative structure, I think, and just like the storytelling itself, it just was a bit like old-timey. And I think especially when we have like such fun middle grade these days. I mean, I didn't even think that this was great middle. I mean, I really love Amari, and I'm excited to see where this series goes. But if you watch my wrap up, I don't think that this is a perfect book. It doesn't need to be, but I had criticisms of the pacing and the writing. But like, it's still so fun and engaging, you know? So I just feel like middle grade is just so good at the moment. I mean, it can always get better, but like, there's just some really, really good middle grade that, and I feel like, at least from the first book that I read, that Earthsea book is sort of, I don't know. It reads kind of middle grade-ish, maybe young adult. But yeah, it just, unless a kid really, really wants that, it doesn't compare. Earthsea is not my favorite of hers. I love The Dispossessed. I have that. I've had that on my shelf for so long. I need to read that. How many books do I say that to? I need to read that. I have that. I need to read that. My fave BookTube. Oh, I just read that one. And I have taught Left Hand of Darkness to my third-year students. Ooh. Say it, Katie. I did not love Amari. It was good, not great. Yeah. I mean, there were elements of it that were great. I think Amari is a great, great character. And I like the concept. And I like some of the commentary that it's doing, I think, especially in middle grade. But yeah, the pacing wasn't great. But I am really excited to see where the series goes. And honestly, like, it's not that I'm not like, oh, I don't want to say something bad about a book that everyone likes and get cancelled. It's not that. It's like, I'm so happy that this is getting hype, and I don't want to dampen it. Even if I disagree slightly, I don't want to dampen the hype, and I don't want to deter anyone from reading it who does want to read it, because I still think it's solid middle grade, and the series has so much potential. I think one of the best middle grade series we have at the moment is Nevermore, which I've been hyping on this channel for years. And if you haven't caught up on Nevermore yet, do it, because it's great. Nevermore is great. Hello from the Netherlands. Are we going to do it again? No. Oh, no. The Netherlands. I was gonna sing you a Eurovision song, but I like it, but I don't think I'm going to put anyone through that. Same. Okay. Yeah. We're on the same page. I love it. How are you, Lola? Can't believe I'm coming on 2 hours. I thought I'd be done after half an hour. Oh, I totally forgot. The Poet X one. How did I forget? The Poet X one by a landslide. So this is my next book. Thank you all very much for helping me choose. I'm very happy about it. I've been wanting to read this for quite a while. When did I get it? I got it at work, I think late last year. I mean, we got it in September. I think I bought it December. Anyway. Hopefully I'll like it. I think I will. I don't like comparing everything to Harry Potter, but Amari, yeah, it just did not give me that transported to a magical world feeling. Yeah, I totally agree. I think I even said that in my wrap up, where it's like I just didn't get swept away in the fantasy, and sometimes I kind of forgot I was in a fantasy. Not that, like, it's still this world, but like I think it didn't allow enough space for the whimsy to sort of take over. So I agree. And it did sort of, I mean, a lot of middle grade fantasy hits a lot of the same sort of main points that Harry Potter does. And I know Nevermore does, but it feels like it then goes on to stand on its own 2 feet in this incredible world that is completely unique. Amari felt like it hit a few of the same points, like, you know, like the young kid getting whisked off to a magical world. even like the ceremony with the crystal ball kind of reminded me of the Sorting Hat ceremony. Like going off to a school, like there was elements of it that felt Harry Potter. So it's hard not to draw comparisons, but it didn't, I don't know. I think the character work was great. I just wanted more magic. And maybe look into Myth Incorporated Inclusive series. Very punny. Ooh. I really need to read Nevermore. You and Gavin have me anticipating my read of it. Oh, well, I hope you like it. I've heard some people say that it's a bit slow to start. I didn't personally feel that, but I've had quite a bit of feedback. Like usually kids who I recommend it to come back and say they loved it, but the ones who don't say they stopped sort of around chapter 3 or chapter 4 because they found it a bit slow. So just keep that in mind. But I just think if you enjoyed Amari but you wanted more magic and whimsy, Nevermore has the magic and whimsy. And are you a Whovian? There's a character that reminds me of the 10th Doctor, specifically the Tennant's Doctor. I don't know. It's just got good vibes. It feels a bit Ghibli. It feels a bit Alice in Wonderland. It feels a bit Doctor Who. It feels a bit Harry Potter. It just feels like this big mix of wonderfulness. I don't know. Just makes me really happy. Who am I rooting for in Eurovision? I'll show you my scoreboard. Wait, can you even see? No. Ukraine is my favorite. They've been my favorite since the song was announced. I really like it. I almost always love Ukraine's entries. Like they're just so solid every year. Like I was so bummed when Maruv didn't go. She was my favorite. I loved Melvin. I really like Ukraine. And Blair and I still listen to Shun. Like Ukraine and Italy, I feel like are always solid. Always. Anyway. This has been adjusted since semi-final 2. Serbia was not my number 2 before semi-final 2, but that's a moment. So Serbia's number 2. I think Sweden is my 3rd. I don't know. I could still change it on the night. But yeah. So I've got Ukraine, Serbia, Sweden, France, Czech Republic, Norway, UK, Romania, Greece, Estonia. Estonia and Poland are kind of like tied 10th for me. So there you go. Hello, Green Fortune. Who are you rooting for, Megan? Worst which series might be of interest turned into a Netflix series? I think JK went to court over fucking JK. We do have The Worst Witch at work. I have not read it, but maybe I will. I'm not a Whovian, just a casual fan. I could recognize Tennant. That was the vibes it gave me anyway. I don't know if you'll feel the same about a particular character. And I don't want to tell you so that you have expectations which character it is. But it just had those vibes for me. And so, yeah. Yeah. Anyway. So nice just chatting books with some friends. I haven't had an opportunity to do that in a while. I am pretty knackered though, friends. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I think I'm ready to head off to bed and get some rest. But yeah, it's just been so nice. I really appreciate you all hanging out with me. I didn't think anyone would show up because I was so spontaneous. And yeah, especially to those of you. I mean, I know heaps of you were here earlier and had to go and whatever, but yeah, thanks especially to those lovely people have been chatting books with me for the last however long. It's been really nice. And yeah, like I said, if you don't like books, that's cool. Maybe I'll make more tarot videos at some point. I don't know when. If you like book content, check out Katey one more time. I'm making heaps of videos over there. So yeah, that's where I am hanging out mostly, because that's just what I'm enjoying, clearly a lot at the moment. But yeah, thank you all very much. I hope you have a lovely day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, whenever you are, and I'll talk to you all when I do. Stay well and happy reading. Bye.